Assalamualaikum, my name is Syed Shamir and this video is a partial fulfillment of the requirements of readings in musicology. The two key concepts that I chose are recording and popular music. Let's begin.
Book in the original phonograph, a little piece of practical poetry. Mary had a little lamb, its feet were white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
The history of recording goes way back to Thomas Alva Edison, an American inventor who created the phonograph in the 1870s. According to Dobby, 2001, he outlined that Edison first publicly demonstrated his new invention, the cylinder phonograph, in 1877, which displayed the ability to record and reproduce sounds. Page 4. With all that being said, the fact remains that Thomas Edison died believing that he was the first person to record sound. However, the phonautograph was invented 20 years earlier than Edison's phonograph. According to Milham 2009, the machine was invented by a French printer named Edward Leon Scott de Martinville. In 1853, he was inspired with mechanicals and the means of recording and transcribing sounds. In this specific context is the vocals. Milham 2009 mentioned his interest was making accurate records of conversations, and so his machines, which scratched a visible sound wave squiggle on a cylinder-covered suit but had no playback method. Page 22. Generally, a simple way to understand between these two great inventors is Scott de Martinville invented a recording machine that has no playback method called the phonautograph in the 1850s. Only later in 2008, scientists managed to rediscover Martinville's 10-second recordings of a song called Clair De La Lune in the 1860s. Edison's first recording was his speech of Mary Had a Little Lamb. As technology develops, their inventions had been modified, upgraded, and digitalized in so many ways. His inventions make the audio recordings today possible. Which leads to my second key concept, which is popular music. Scholars classify popular music based on various factors, and songs or pieces known to listeners hearing the music is one of it. Middleton, 1993, he said that since their beginnings, popular music studies have conducted an implicit bracket, sometimes explicit, dialogue with musicology. Traditionally, music forms such as blues and hymns were passed along orally to local audiences. A few examples that had successfully made into the popular music scene, for example, like the Beatles and Elvis Presley. Popular music evolved and became a generalization which can be situated within commercially driven entertainment-based industry. During the Second World War era, the word popular defines as blues, jazz, and swing. Even so, It was not recorded in any form. It was essentially defined as spontaneous live performance. In the late 1930s, there was a debate between two German critical theorists that gave an impact to today's scholars to rediscover their work. They were Theodore Adorno and Walter Benjamin. Their argument circled around recordings. Now, Benjamin, 1992, argued that mechanical recordings reproduction removes the aesthetic value in many ways. It results in a depreciation or loss of authenticity and originality in bracket aura, and the possibility offered of collapsing of tradition. However, in context of film, it is a distraction by which he meant a form of deception that is exposed to open political manipulation. This statement occurred during the Nazis' propaganda of that time. Adorno, on the other hand, thinks otherwise. Adorno's perception of recording contradicts with Benjamin's ideology. In fact, the question of recorded music shouldn't arise. His idea of recording music affects on listening habits to the extent where classical music appears easy to listen. Besides that, Adorno suggested that recordings are able to preserve as a universal but petrified for a text, which leads to Adorno's ideology for popular music. Adorno defines it as a common standardization that is manipulated by cultural industry. Other definitions of popular music are based on sociological frameworks as product of a particular or specific groupings. However, it is relevant to view popular music as the expression to a specific socio-economy at a historical moment. As mentioned earlier, the best example for popular music is Beatles and Elvis Presley. Their arrangement contains verse, chorus, and bridge, which can be manipulated and in any way without changing its meaning. Most of their songs became hit and became standardization. The development of technology made it possible for popular songs continue to be listened by people around the world. Radio, films, music videos, and cover versions continue to rise as technology and the internet has dominated the world. Everything became easy to access on the modern devices such as smartphones and laptops. And that is all. Thanks for watching. Once again, my name is Syed Shamir, and this video is partial fulfillment of the requirements of reading in musicology. Thank you.